Hey Bookaholics, and welcome back to another reading vlog. Today we're doing another romance vlog. It's been a little while since I did one of these, but I do love doing them. This vlog was supposed to be next week's vlog, but my brain is goo. So I figured what better way to go about this than to literally go and read a load of witchy romances. You know? Sounds great. I can't wait. So I have 5 on here. I had 4 initially in my TBR, and then 1 that I've been desperate to read went on sale. So now I have 5. And I don't know how long this vlog's going to take. It could be a 2-week long thing. Who knows? But I'm going to go through the books and their synopses. So if I'm looking this way a lot, it's because I'm looking at the synopses on Goodreads because I have these on ebook. So let's have a quick look through the ones that I have. The first one that I have is a very popular one that has been kind of taking the internet by storm. The sequel's just recently come out, and it is Rewitched by Lucy Jane Wood. This one says, Bella Donna Blackthorne hasn't lost her magical spark, but she hasn't seen it in a while either. Balancing work at her beloved Luna Books, protecting it from her toxic boss, who's running it into the ground, and all the while concealing her witchcraft from the non-witches around her. Belle is burnt out. Perfecting the potential of her magic is the last thing on her mind. But when her 30th birthday brings her a summons from her coven and a trial that tests her worthiness as a witch, Belle risks losing her magic forever. With the month of October to fix things and signs that dark forces may be working against her, Belle will need all the help she can get. From the women in her life, from an unlikely mentor figure, and even from an infuriatingly handsome watchman who's sworn to protect her. With found family, slow burn romance, and an uplifting message about self-love, this is the cozy autumnal read that you've been waiting for. I'm very excited for this one. I'm hoping that it's just like cheesy times 100, really. I'm not gonna lie. The next one that I have is A Witch's Guide to Fake Dating a Demon by Sarah Hawley, and this one says, Mariel Spark knows not to trust a demon, especially one who wants her soul. But what's a witch to do when he won't leave her side and she kind of doesn't want him to? Mariel Spark is prophesied to be the most powerful witch seen in centuries of the famed Spark family. To the displeasure of her mother, she prefers baking to brewing potions and gardening to casting hexes. When a spell to summon flower goes very wrong, Mariel finds herself staring down a demon, one she inadvertently summoned for a soul bargain. I'm really sorry if you can hear the dogs, there's nothing I can do about it. It's all day, every day now. Ozroth the Ruthless is a legend among demons, powerful and merciless. He drives hard bargains to collect mortal souls. But his reputation has suffered ever since a bargain went awry. If he can strike a bargain with Mariel, he will earn back his deadly reputation. Ozroth can't leave Mariel's side until they complete the bargain, which she refuses to do. Turns out some humans are attached to their souls. But the witch is funny and curvy and disgustingly yet endearingly cheerful. Becoming awkward roommates quickly escalates when Mariel, terrified to confess the inadvertent summoning to her mother, blurts out that she's dating Ozroth. As Ozroth and Mariel struggle with their opposing goals of maintaining a fake relationship, real attraction blooms between them. But Ozroth has a limited amount of time to strike the deal, and if Mariel gives up on her soul, she'll lose all her emotions, including love, which will only spell disaster for them both. Again, very excited for this one. We've got some fake dating going on in here as well, and I'm really hoping that we've got like a grumpy sunshine going on. The next one that we have is Hex and Hexability by Kate Johnson. This one is the last book in the Best Hex Ever collection by this author. This is the Regency one, so I'm very excited for it. This one says Bridgerton meets the X-Hex this witchy season with this oh so spicy romantasy Regency rom-com. Lady Tiffany Worthington has always had a special talent for making the world around her come to life, whether she wants it to or not. But it's only with the arrival of her mysterious great aunt Esme on the eve of the Battle of Waterloo that she learns she's a witch, and that the magic she's long feared is actually a gift to be embraced. Now, as she is exposed to a side of London she never knew existed, one with sea creatures, magic portals, time travel, and a handsome duke from a faraway land with a dashing scar that makes him look like a pirate, Lady Tiffany discovers that despite what the Ton might decree, there's no limit to what she can do or who she can be. Very excited for this one. For those of you who haven't been around, I am absolutely obsessed with Regency romances at the minute, so this is probably the one that's at the top of my list for enthusiasm. Very excited. Next one that I have is Payback's a Witch by Lana Harper. This one is, I believe that this is Rivals to Lovers Sapphic Witches, which again, here for. This one says, Chilling Adventures of Sabrina meets the L Word in this fresh, sizzling rom-com by Lana Harper. Emily Harlow is a witch, but not a very powerful one, in part because she hasn't been home to the magical town of Thistlegrove in years. Her self-imposed exile has a lot to do with a complicated family history and a desire to forge her own way in the world. and only very little tiniest bit to do with Gareth Blackmore, heir to the most powerful magical family in town and casual breaker of hearts and destroyer of dreams. But when a spellcasting tournament that her family serves as arbiters for approaches, it turns out the pull of tradition, or truly impressive parental guilt trip that comes with it, is strong enough to bring Emily back. She's determined to do her familiar duty, spend some quality time with her best friend Lyndon Thorne, and get back to her real life in Chicago. On the first night home, Emily runs into Talia Avramov, an all-round badass adept in the darker magical arts, who is fresh off a bad breakup with Gareth Blackmore. Talia had let herself be charmed only to discover that Gareth was also seeing Lyndon, unbeknownst to either of them. Now she and Lyndon want revenge. Only question is Emmy in? But most concerning of all, why can't she stop thinking about the terrifyingly competent, devastatingly gorgeous, wickedly charming Talia Avramov? I'm really hoping this has like a John Tucker Must Die, but like witchy vibe. I don't know. Sounds cool. And the last one, the one I'm very excited to get to, the most recent addition to this potential TBR, is The Ex-Hex by Erin Starling. This one says, a spine-tingling romance full of wishes, witches, and hexes gone wrong. 9 years ago, Vivienne Jones nursed her broken heart like any young woman would. Vodka, weepy music, bubble baths, and a curse on the horrible boyfriend. Sure, Vivi knows she shouldn't use her magic this way, but with only an orchid hayride scented candle on hand, she wasn't worried it will cause him anything more than a bad hair day or two. That is until Rhys Penhallow, descendant of the town's ancestors, breaker of hearts, and annoyingly just as gorgeous as he always was, returns to Graves Glen, Georgia. What should be a quick trip to recharge the town's ley lines and make an appearance at the annual Fall Festival turns disastrously wrong. With one calamity after another striking Rhys, Vivi realizes her silly little ex-hex may not have been harmless after all. Suddenly, Graves Glen is under attacks from murderous wind-up toys, a pissed-off ghost, and a talking cat with some interesting things to say. Vivi and Rhys have to ignore their off-the-charts chemistry to work together to save the town and find a way to break the breakup curse before it's too late. So we've got second chance romance here, and we've got like the forced proximity, I guess, with them needing to like work together. So yeah, I'm really excited for this one. This is definitely one that was high on my list, so I'm glad that I've managed to purchase it and chuck it onto the TBR. I'm going to be starting out in order, so I'll start out with Rewitched and we'll go from there. I'm hoping to just like have a chill time, maybe at some point get myself a bubble bath, maybe, you know, some snacks will be involved, some tea and hot chocolate and stuff. Cozy vibes all round, that's the plan. I want all the cozy vibes, so let's go. I was out all of yesterday. We're here now. It's Saturday. I have no idea when I last updated you. I feel like it might have been Thursday morning. It's now Saturday afternoon. Oh well, I have gotten halfway through Rewitched. Again, I am taking it slow. It's not even like I'm reading anything in the background. It's my only read at the moment. I do have my audiobook that I use occasionally, but audiobooks are literally for like I am doing something that my brain doesn't need to do anything, but my hands are doing something. That's when my audiobook kicks in. No other reads. I'm not reading any Tessa Dare at the moment for like a hot minute. Who'd have thunk it? I don't have a physical read on in the background, no book clubs, no nothing. I'm literally just reading Rewitched and I'm halfway, because I am just taking it chill. Again, I was out all of yesterday. We got home at 11 o'clock at night. So I was out from 9 o'clock in the morning until 11 o'clock at night last night. So no reading got done at all yesterday. I went out, got my hair cut. Not that you'll be able to tell, it's just lighter. And literally just not lighter in colour. It's actually darker in colour because she takes the top layers off. I get it layered because my hair is so thick, it gets really heavy. I kept putting it up, hurts my head. And as a migraine sufferer, I do not need any help with my head hurting. Yeah, this is my natural unsun bleached
bleached colour. Like in the summer, my hair gets a bit sun bleached and goes a bit lighter. And then when I go to the hairdresser, she like takes the top layers off as part of like thinning it. And this is my actual colour. Like just in case you thought I was just randomly dyeing my hair. I'm not. I've got grey hairs in here somewhere. You see them sometimes in my videos. Like, there you go. They're a bit like shiny. I have a really nice grey as well. My nan has a fantastic grey. It's like silver. So I'm going to look amazing as an old lady. I mean, like my facing won't change too much, but I'm going to have amazing hair as an old lady. I'm talking about my hair so much. So full of shit today. Went to get our haircut, had my eyebrows done, then went to have coffee. Then we went walking up and down like the high street in the town nearest to us. Didn't actually get any B-roll footage of that because I was just talking to my mum the whole time and I didn't really want to stop talking to my mum so I could get some B-roll when I could just be chatting to my mum. So I didn't do that. Then we went out for lunch. I got the like most amazing chicken bagel ever. I love that place. I love going there for bagels. We went shopping as well. Got some of those giant cookies. Thankfully there's 6 of us, but we got some of those giant cookies. So all in all, very packed day. Then we had dinner down there as well. So it's a lot. I didn't get any reading done yesterday. So I am now halfway. I got a little tiny bit of reading done at the hairdressers. That's it. So I got some reading done. I think I got to about 25% by the end of Thursday. And then I read, I think, about 2 chapters. And now I am over halfway. What's the percentage? I've not even stopped at a chapter. I'm 59% of the way through. I'm really liking it, actually. It's not that I am taking it slow because I'm disliking it. I'm just vibing at the minute. I'm not in a rush. I read so much in September that if it takes me a week to read a book, it takes me a week to read a book. I don't really care, which is a bad thing to say in a reading vlog. But I'm just taking it slow. I am chilling. I am vibing. And that's where I'm at the minute. I'm really liking the book though. I'm really liking the representation of anxiety and self-deprecation and self-doubt. Fear holding you back, I suppose. The idea around like potential and all of that stuff. All of that I'm really, I don't know. I enjoy that representation. The guy that I am fairly certain is the main love interest is quite interesting as well. I'm enjoying him. Not particularly swoon worthy or anything, but I'm enjoying him well enough. But the interpersonal relationships in here are good. There's one thing, so the thing with romances, right, is that they're comforting because they're predictable until there's something in it that you can predict and you think is going to be annoying. Now in here we have a best friend who is not witchy. Our protagonist is not telling that she's a witch. I swear down, if this goes the way that storyline always goes, I am going to dock an entire star from this book. I'm feeling petty. Feeling petty. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, I'm hoping to go crack out some more now. I've got like a couple of hours of doing nothing. So I'm hoping to get to like at least 75% of the way into the book, maybe more, depending on how long I keep yapping to you. We'll see how I fare. But yeah, that's what I'm going to go do now. And I will check back in, I guess, whenever the mood strikes me, really. I'm not going for consistency with this vlog. The whole point of the vlog is chill vibes. So it's been a hot minute. I did actually finish Rewitched. So I thought I would check in. Again, when I actually just sit down and read, I actually spend a load of time doing so and actually finish a book. Who'd have thunk it? If only I did that all weekend. Anyway, I'm hoping that I'll be able to actually smash through some more throughout the weekend because I've still got this evening post dinner. Well, post dinner and post Strictly. Yes, I watch Strictly. I am one of those people. For anyone outside of the UK, Strictly is an abbreviated form of saying Strictly Come Dancing, which is in America Dancing with the Stars. Yes, I watch it. I watch it with my family. I love it. I used to be a dancer. I trained to be a dancer before I had a back injury. So I live vicariously through others now. But yeah, so I finished Rewitched. I did really enjoy it. I had a good time with it. It's keeping its 4 stars. It's not lost the star. There was a slight thing with the front, but it didn't annoy me. And I think it was well handled. And I think it was actually quite essential to our character's progress in the way that it was done. And overall, I think it was just a lovely, heartwarming story about overcoming the limitations you place on yourself, I suppose, and the way lack of belief in yourself works. Because I literally had to go through that. I have been the employee that everyone highly, highly depends upon with no real compensation for it. I was the person in at least 2 of my jobs. I was the person that kind of kept a place running and kept a place going and received no benefit from it that everyone else didn't get. And it took a lot to learn how to stand up for myself and to learn that I deserve more. So I really felt that with this character and I really appreciated that. So yeah, that's a thing that I really took away from that. I would have liked the romance to have been more prevalent. I know that sounds weird, but like, this is a romance vlog. I'm in a romance mood, and it is a slow burn romance, and I did like that, and I did really like certain elements of it. Like the male lead is adorable. Like, I love him. There's a who hurt you moment, which is everyone's favorite moment, right? I just would have liked it to have been more prevalent. I appreciate that it's not what the story's about, and there wasn't much room in the book for that to be more prevalent. So it's not that the book's done anything wrong. I'm just in a romance mood, and I would have liked there to have been more romance. I don't really know why this is listed as a romance. There is a romance, but it's a subplot. You know, the same way as like James Bond is a romance because occasionally he gets a girlfriend throughout the film. You know, it's the same thing. It's like, yes, she does have a romantic relationship bud throughout this story, but it's not the purpose of the story. You could remove the romance from the story and it wouldn't actually alter the plot at all. So it being listed as a romance is not right, I don't think. I am now going to hopefully be picking up A Witch's Guide to Fake Dating a Demon. I'm very excited for this one. I'm hoping that this one's a bit naughtier, maybe a bit kinkier. I don't know, we'll see. It just kind of sounds like it'll be that way. Like, I hope it's like, I don't want it to be kinky in like a intense dark kind of way, just like cozy, but there's got a bit of smut in it, you know? But we'll see, I don't know. I have been listening to my audiobook. I forgot to mention in the previous update yesterday, I did it, not yesterday, day before. I did listen to some of my audiobook as well. I needed to like do the whole like shave my legs and everything. I've also got myself what they call like the home laser treatment things. So I was doing that. So while I was shaving my legs and then while I was doing the laser, I listened to my audiobook. I had a good time with it. I am really enjoying it. And I mention it here because it is also romantic. It does have romance in it. So I figured I'd mention it, and that's Where the Dark Stands Still. And yeah, I'm really liking this one as well. So this is also feeding into my romance vibe. Witch's Guide to Fake Dating a Demon. If at any point I need an audiobook for whatever, I will continue Where the Dark Stands Still. Watch this space, I guess. Look, I am halfway through A Witch's Guide to Fake Dating a Demon, so I thought I would check in. I'm having such a good time with this. I am flying through it. I read like the 50% of it yesterday. I would have read more if I weren't busy. We are currently doing the transitioning from summer towards winter thing that you do in autumn, where we're like clearing out clothes, and like with kids it means that then we need to get out the winter clothes. It's not like quite cold enough to wear like winter clothes, but you know, changing from shorts to longer trousers and things like that, putting away swimwear. And obviously when we get them out, we need to get the kids to try everything on to see what still fits them, see that there's nothing that's looking a bit too sun bleached or a bit not great anymore, chucking things, giving things to charity. We sorted out their bedrooms as well, because obviously like once you start doing things like sorting through their drawers, it's then like, oh, we'll start sorting through everything. So it's been one of those weekends where we've just not really had time to sit and think for 5 seconds because we've been just doing stuff. So yeah, I'm only halfway, but again, I sat and I just binge read half of it last night once we did get 5 seconds to chill. So I am really liking it. I'm liking the love interest. It is a little bit fast, I think. I think the way that they care for each other, especially in Oz's case, the male love interest case, I think it's a bit quick, but they're both so starved of love that you can understand it. And she's got so many familial issues, and like so has he to an extent, but it's normal within the demon realm, but he's not a normal demon. So it's been interesting. I really do find the level of anxiety that I get from her mum to be a lot. Like, if you are someone who suffers with anxiety and you're looking to go into romance to kind of calm that, this might not be the best pick, because the relationship with her mum is not great and it is very anxiety inducing. I would bear that in mind, but I think the way it's depicted is well done. Like it does feel very intense and very raw, I suppose. So I'm enjoying it. I'm having a great time with it. I'm going to go sit and continue reading now. I was going to get loads of stuff done today, but because it's been such a hectic weekend, I might just take some time for myself. Now the kids are at school. Chill a bit today, maybe.
So we'll see how I fare with that. See if I continue being a bit of a fidget or if I do just like chill and unwind a bit. We'll see. But yeah, I am really liking it and I'm looking forward to continuing. I find the friendship group in this very interesting as well, because on the one hand they're like super supportive friends, and on the other they do also add a layer of complication, I guess, to her life. So that's interesting as well. So overall, I'm excited to continue. I'm going to wrap this up quickly because now I'm talking about it. All I want to do is keep reading, which is exactly what I want from a romance.
Hey vlog, I have finished a book. I have started a book. It's time to check in. It is now Tuesday, so it is time for me to give you an update. It's been a hot minute. I did manage to finish A Witch's Guide to Fake Dating a Demon yesterday, and I have given it 3 stars. It's come out, I think, 3 stars, if not 3.5 on Corpile. I did really like a lot of elements of this. I did find the way that we see our characters' growth happen to be interesting. I love the idea about the different values that we place on things within a society. In this case, it's which types of magic are deemed valuable, but it's applicable to our society in terms of which type of jobs, for example, or which type of career paths, which kinds of studies would be deemed valuable over others, which would make you more of a disappointment, for example. So, I don't know, becoming a teacher might not be a well enough received profession by some families who want you to become like a lawyer or a doctor or whatever. So yeah, I really appreciated that, and I thought that was really well handled. However, I did have some problems with this book. Namely, there were two core things in this that I do have a problem with. Some of the smaller things that are not those include the fact it is a little bit too insta love, like it's a little bit too quick how much they fall in love with each other as opposed to just like in lust or seeing where it's gonna go. We also have friends that are a bit too interfering. Now this might be a me thing, but I don't need my friends to constantly be interfering on my life. Like I will ask them when I want thoughts or opinions. I don't need someone to comment on my life outside of that. That's on my terms, and I don't like friendship groups that are like that. So that is something that grates on me. But again, a lot of people do kind of like that friend that's gonna come in and kick ass for you thing. And I know that my friends would, but I know that my friends respect my boundaries enough to not do it if I am not wanting it. And that's kind of the difference, I think. My 2 core problems with this book. The first one being the third act breakup. Third act breakups, no one particularly likes them anyway. But my problem with this type of third act breakup is the fact that you've built so much throughout an entire book, and then you have someone who is filled with self-doubt suddenly go, actually, everything you've ever said to me is a lie because I'm feeling insecure, and then breaks it all down. And it's fucking annoying. I hate it. I hate it so much. And it happens so often and it's exhausting. So I don't like that. And then the second one that we have is when you have a character who is insecure and has been building themselves up, the fact that the way they build themselves up is they need to push everyone away, while I'm sure there's some psychology to it that makes it psychologically sound, it does not make for enjoyable reading. So there are some problems that I have in there that were a bit too glaringly obvious for me personally that I didn't really enjoy. So for the most part, I did have a really good time with it. I thought the atmosphere of the town was very cool. I thought that the subplot with the spa that's being built was really cool. Like I said, the thematics around value that we place on different people and their merits, also fantastic. So there were some really good things in there. I did think the romance overall was decently done. I just had some issues with it.
So it's got 3 stars. I've started Hex and Hexability by Kate Johnson. This is the 3rd book in this series. It started with Hex Appeal, and then it's Hex and the City, and now we're on Hex and Hexability. Now, this one I'm enjoying. I do like Kate Johnson's writing. I do just find it really easy to get through. I love Regency romance, and I don't need Regency romance to be historically accurate, which I can hear you all gasping because I normally need everything to be historically accurate. But Regency romance, I just don't care. It's romance. Like, I'm here for the romance, and the Regency era element is just to kind of like create some obstacles. And I actually kind of prefer those obstacles. It's the same as fantasy romance. I much prefer those obstacles to the obstacles that we have in contemporary romance, because it feels so contrived that the obstacles that we get in historical romance and fantasy romance work better for me. So that's what I'm here for with a Regency romance, so that's fine. I'm not quite as immersed in the setting as I would like to be for a Regency romance though, and again, immersion important, accuracy not particularly. So I'm hoping that I'm only 17% of the way in, so I'm hoping I've still got plenty of time to become immersed. My other problem that I am having is that our male love interest is from seemingly South American heritage, and so he keeps speaking in Spanish to his friend. So his friend, who is German, speaks to him, like he'll say things in German, and then our protagonist will say things in Spanish. Now, I am fluent bilingual Spanish English, and he keeps saying to his friend mi amigo, which is something that English people would say, but it's not something I really hear Spanish people say to the person. So if I were going to introduce my friend, if I'm like, this is my friend John, este es mi amigo Juan, then you would say mi amigo, right? My friend. But if I was going to refer to you in a it's lovely to see you, my friend, it would be encantada de verte, amigo mío. That's how I would say it anyway. And I don't know, the way that the English use it always sounds very English, and it sounds it in here. It's not grammatically incorrect, it's just socially not something we would gravitate towards. We're not big on pronouns over here. Like, we drop every pronoun because the verbs do it themselves. You don't need the pronouns. We're not big on pronouns as a culture. If you're gonna put it, then I will go amigo mío, but realistically you just say amigo. That's grating on me a little bit. Some of the other Spanish is cool, like she said siempre huyendo. You know, instead of like a lot of the time the English, they try and put too many words in there to make it sound like English. So it'd be like siempre estás huyendo, which is not how a Spanish person would say it. It would just be siempre huyendo, which is fantastic. So like there are some bits that are grammatically correct. It's just that specifically sounds very English to me. But other than that, I am enjoying it. So again, despite I'm not quite immersed yet section that we've got going and the random bits of Spanish we sometimes get, I am enjoying the rest. In this one we've got like a Regency romance, and he seems very much like a pirate, which is very cool. So I'm looking forward to diving into this one a bit further. So that's what I'm going to go do now, and hopefully I can get back to you in a bit.
Hey vlog, I am here to check in. I have managed to finish Hex and Hexability and start another thing, so I thought I would check in. First off, yes, I finished Hex and Hexability. It's probably going to come out at 3 stars from me. I haven't run it through Cool Pal yet, but I did enjoy it for the most part. I do think there were some good things in there. I just didn't, there were some bits that went too quickly, and then there were some bits that dragged. Like the pacing was a little bit messy in this one in a way that didn't quite work for me. The Regency stuff was cool. I did like that. I think some of the witchy elements as well were kind of glossed over a little bit too much, and I would have liked there to have been a bit more development on them, or again for it to have just been paced differently. I'm not sure. It's interesting because this series is like a series supposedly, but they're very 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 loosely connected. So I don't know, I feel like if there had been more connection between them I would have liked them more, because we would have had more room to develop certain things. I liked it, I didn't love it. I have since also started Payback's Witch by Lana Harper. This one I am, I think 40% of the way in now, I'm not sure. I am really enjoying this one. I'm liking the characters so far. The main protagonist being Emmy, who has just returned home to where she comes from, and she's already got this like intense chemistry going on with Talia, who's going to be our main love interest, so that's pretty cool. I am also really looking forward to seeing the way that the trial section happens. We've just started the first one where I left off. I'm really excited to see where that's going to go. I'm liking the writing style and finding the characters compelling. I haven't got a huge amount to say on it, even though I'm like nearly halfway, which I don't know what that says about my enjoyment, but I am invested enough to keep reading. So we'll see how I fare with the second half of it. But yeah, I thought I'd do like a quick check-in. They're not ones that I have particularly strong feelings on, interestingly, so I didn't really know how to kind of go about this check-in, but I thought I'd let you know, so it's not just me being like, I've finished 3 books at the end of this. So we'll see how I fare with the second half of Payback's a Witch, and then we'll see how I fare also finishing up this vlog.
vlog. I am back. I didn't actually vlog over the weekend. I got some B-roll and stuff, but I didn't vlog. I didn't check in over the weekend. I think I've said this before, I am just trying to kind of pace myself with vlogging in a way that it means that I still enjoy vlogging. So I am trying really hard not to force myself to vlog. If I've got something to say, if I have an update and I'm not feeling vlogging in that moment, I don't need to. I don't have to. There's no obligation. So I had quite a family-centric weekend anyway. So on Friday, I went to the like big shopping centre in Granada so that I could go get my kids autumn and winter clothes. Basically, Spain is a bit odd when it comes to stuff like that because it's cloudy today, but yesterday was 28 degrees. But they bring in the autumn stuff still seasonally, so they still bring it in September and October. So then by the time it actually cools down enough to be able to wear autumn clothes, they're bringing out winter clothes. So they're bringing out big coats and like lined trousers, and it's very rarely cold enough in this country. Like even in the coldest part of winter, I don't own a big coat anymore. I own one for riding my motorbike. I don't own one to go out in. Like I don't own a nice one because it's never cold enough, you know, like a jacket is enough. It doesn't work very well shopping wise. So I have to go in October to make sure that I buy stuff for winter because it's the autumn stuff which will actually be the things that are temperature appropriate. It's confusing. So I went and did that on Friday. And then Saturday we rearranged all of the kids' drawers and stuff to put said clothes away. And then yesterday we went to go watch a musical version of Frozen, and the local theatre stuff tends to be like, you know, entertaining, decent enough. So this one was in Malaga, so we thought, oh, well, this is going to be even better then, surely. And we went, it's advertised like all over my social media and everything, and so we went, and it was so bad. I have been in theatre. I have performed on stage, okay? I understand how hard it is. I understand how nerve-wracking it is. I've been there. I did it as a child. But it was so bad. I felt so bad for them, but we couldn't finish it. I mean, I was ready to nope out the first scene in. It was that bad. It was just so painful. We got to where Anna meets Kristoff. That's how far in we got, and we left. And then just went and got pizza. My poor mum, because she was the one that arranged it, because like, we've had such a good time with musicals lately. We're like, oh, we'll take the kids to one, and like, you know, this one seems to be heavily advertised, which surely means it's gonna be a good one. No, it was not. I mean, it was never quite gonna be my eldest's thing anyway. He's 10, you know, but God, it wasn't anyone's thing. My daughter, who's the target audience, was like melting in her seat from boredom. So yeah, it was not great, which is such a shame, but it's a funny experience anyway, you know? So yeah, no vlogging over the weekend, but I have finished Payback to Witch and I have started the XX. So Payback to Witch, I did enjoy it. I actually did enjoy it. I don't think I'm going to think about it very much, but I did enjoy it. I would consider continuing the series. This might be like a series of vlogs that I do every Halloween until I've run out of books in these series, I guess. Yeah, I liked the romance between the two. I liked the way that it was making them confront each other. I have never had, I guess I've never had the kind of early romantic trauma that our protagonist had. But to me, there are so many times where women in books are defined by one thing that a boyfriend did when they were in their teens. And I appreciate that it's more deeply rooted than that in a way, but by God, did I want to throttle our protagonist at times. I just don't find that relatable, I suppose. I did enjoy the relationship between the two leads, I guess. And I do like the friendship that our protagonist has as well with her best friend. So there were things that I liked. There just wasn't anything that I felt hugely strongly about, I suppose, is the thing. The trial element was quite cool. I liked how that all panned out. That was fun. So like, it was a good time, not a long time. I'm glad I read it. I have fun with it. I'm probably not going to think about it a huge amount. But I'm happy to continue the series. Might do that next year. The next thing that I have done is, that, as I said, I have started the XX. So far, I'm not hugely far in. I might be like 30% of the way in. I'm not sure. I'm really liking it. I like the writing style. It seems fun. Our protagonist is a hot mess, which, you know, what leading lady in a romance isn't a hot mess. That's kind of the point almost. I am enjoying this one. I think that the writing style, I think that the banter that we've got going, the amount that she kind of hates her ex, I also think is very amusing. And like, he is not really refuting that. Like, he's not coming in and being like, actually, no, I am the bestest. What is wrong with you? He is very much like, yeah, like, I get that you hate me. I'll get out your hair as soon as I've done the ley lines thing, which I think is pretty cool, you know, like that he's sort of aware that he broke her heart, I guess. So I'm curious to see where that goes, especially because he got big daddy issues. I'm female. We love ourselves a damaged guy, you know? So I'm curious to see how that's gonna pan out. So yeah, I'm enjoying myself. Like, that's the thing. So I've checked in because I've got something to say, you know, like I've finished something, I've started something, I've got some thoughts on them. So I figured I'd check in. But again, not particularly pressuring myself to vlog when not necessary. So that does mean that basically I'm only getting 2 vlogs out this month, which is an odd one for me because this is the last week of October. So I'm not gonna be fitting in any other vlogs now because I've got till Friday of the month. So I might as well just, you know, finish up X Hex. If I look like I've got a bit of time, I could maybe squeeze in one more of these romances. I'll just scour the internet and see what I can find. But that's it, you know, like I did my spinner wheel and I've done my romance vlog and that's fine, you know, and that's what I am trying to come to terms with. That is fine. Like, if I plan things, I don't have to follow through with them if it doesn't fit in. If I don't have to force myself to speed read through things just to get some vlogs out. And I'm coming to terms with that. And I think I'm gonna be fine. Vlog, I am halfway through the X Hex, so I thought I'd check in. I need a movie. I need a movie of this book, like now. It's like the Halloween version of a Hallmark movie, which inherently makes it better, right? But also like sexy. And so far they haven't actually like had sex, but the tension between them is fabulous. Like, I'm really loving the fact that they are really into each other still, and the way that they're trying to pretend that they don't resent the fact that they separated as well. It was 10 years ago, and you're a guy that I dated for like 3 months. How could you possibly have an impact on my life, kind of thing? And I don't know. I'm really vibing with it. I'm not 100% sold on the Welshness. Our main love interest is Welsh, supposedly, and I'm not 100% sure that I'm buying that he's Welsh. Like, he says mate quite a lot, he says lad quite a lot. For some reason, like the way he's saying it, he sounds like an English chav instead of like a Welshman in my head. Like, he's got like a really just it's not working for me. So I'm having to omit certain parts of the dialogue to make me buy into the fact that he's Welsh, which is an odd thing. But other than that, I'm really enjoying it. I'm really liking the romance between the two. Like I said, the tension that we've got going. I love the relationship that we have also between our protagonist Vivi and her aunt Elaine and her cousin Gwyn. Like, I really love that dynamic that we've got as well. So yeah, for the most part, I'm having a fantastic time with it. I'm reading it slower than I usually would read. I've just been having one of those weeks where I'm not really reading as much, but it's fine. I'm not in a rush. So yeah, at this point, this vlog's going to be like 3 weeks long, just me being like, actually, I'll read romance, but who cares? I'm enjoying reading these books. Like, I look forward to getting back to it. I just have been reading at a slower pace than usual mostly because at the minute I've been doing a lot of writing, so then like my brain is just a bit too tired to also be reading. Like I said, having a good time. So hopefully I can carry this energy through until the end of the month and we can finish the vlog on a high note, because again, I'm really enjoying this book. Happy Halloween! Yep, the vlog's not up by Halloween. Who is she at this point? Have I given up? Have I actually given up? No. But It feels like it. It's been one of those months, man. Like I have just been reading romances, staying alive. September apparently wiped me out more than I thought it had. Anyway, that's beside the point. I have finished the X-Hex, so I figured I would come and let you know that I have actually finished the X-Hex. It's taken me like 5 days to read a romance. My God. Help me. Anyway, moving on now. I enjoyed this. I had a good time with this. When were you lot going to let me know that Erin Sterling is another name for Rachel Hawkins? For the author of, what's it called? Hex Hall? When were you going to tell me? Yeah, you. I'm talking to you. I really liked Hex Hall when I was in my teens. It's an underappreciated gem. Like, from that whole, like, era of YA, it's an underappreciated gem. Like, it, you know, early foundations for dark academia going on a little bit there. Not gonna lie. Had a great time with it. Would recommend. Maybe not now. Maybe if you are just looking for some nostalgic YA, like not based on my actual current taste. I'm not like, okay, so like I normally read Robin Hobb, but also go read Hex Hall. Not quite what I mean, but like if you want some nostalgic YA, actually a fun time. I had a good time with it. Moving on, however, back to the book in question, which is the X-Hex. She really likes the word hex in her titles. Now I'm thinking about it. Moving on, X-Hex. I really did like this. I enjoyed the way the romance blossomed. That it's a second chance romance that comes in heavy. Like a lot of second chance romances, they have this like, I suppose, not wanting to admit to themselves that they find the person still attractive. It's like, oh no, it's been so long. I don't even fancy them anymore. You know, like they're just whatever. I don't dream about them. You know, like it's like that. And with this, she's like, it's actually kind of messed up that this guy that I was into for like a few months 10 years ago still has this effect on me. Like I am way more into that. I think that it works better if she's aware. She's like, yeah, we had fantastic sex, you know, like we had a great relationship and then it went tits up, you know, and that's just how it goes. And that's one of those things. So it's like, you know, he still has that effect on me. He still conjures up the memories. It's still hot. I'm still into him. And she's aware of that, you know, and it's like, it doesn't make her less angry with him as well, which is cool. Like, it's like, okay, I hate that I find him attractive because he's hot, but also he hurt me. Like both can exist in the same space, people. And I really appreciated that. The actual like plot, because I'm mostly in it for the romance, let's be honest. But the actual plot wasn't too bad either. Like, so we've got it, well, because she's cursed him. And then he's come to do something to the ley lines. And he has passed his curse onto the ley lines. His dad's a dick. I love that. She's got some really cool family dynamics going on with her aunt and her cousin. I think I've already mentioned that somewhere in this vlog. I don't know. I like that we had all of these periphery characters as well. And we've got that British stoicism in our male protagonist in Reese with his brothers, like his interactions with his brothers. I really liked that as well. I thought that was quite amusing. Now, don't get me wrong. It's not that British stoicism isn't a thing and this whole like, oh, you know, don't share emotions with your siblings kind of thing like that. That is totally a thing. You know, it's who we are as a people. We are taught that we are allowed like this much emotional room, and at least 70% of that is reserved exclusively for your romantic partner. So that's a thing that is kind of like, it makes sense. But I don't know, just the effort this author went to try and make Reese British was amusing, because it's almost like she was trying so hard. It made him not well, he didn't feel Welsh. I'm sorry, he never felt Welsh to me. I need a Welsh person to tell me if this man feels Welsh, because like it might just be my experience with Welsh people. This man does not feel in the slightest bit Welsh. Like he feels very English. Nothing about him feels Welsh. Now don't get me wrong, there are loads of English people that live in Wales, so like it genuinely might be like they're a British family, like it's, you know, part of the way we have like taken over Wales. But nothing about this man felt Welsh, and he felt so English that it was like, you know, all of this like, I can trace my ancestry back to Wales, and it's like, okay, I don't know how to tell you, most English people can, because that's where the actual Anglican people went during the Roman invasion. Anyway, I'm not going to get into history in this vlog, but this man felt very English, and I don't know if that's just me. Let me know, anyone else who's read it, if this man feels even slightly Welsh. Let me know where the Welshness is. I can't find it. But yeah, I really liked him as a character. Great romantic lead. Because he's flawed. And not flawed in just this, like, you know, we're going to pretend that this super endearing trait is flawed, and not flawed in the we're going to overlook this positively toxic thing because he's hot. Neither of those things were happening, which I was here for. It was just, he was a person who has flaws. Huzzah! And I like that. I like that that is the thing that we can get in books now. Because so much of early 2000s romances were just either this guy is trash, but he's hot, or this guy is so perfect, we're going to throw in a token flaw for the sake of pretending that we need to overcome some kind of obstacle with this otherwise perfect person. And he was neither, he just felt like a real guy. I liked our protagonist. A lot of the time when you have a protagonist who's a bit more, with contemporary protagonists, you'll sometimes have them be a little bit stuck in their ways. They'll have this specific characteristic that is like the primary obstacle for the romance. And with this one, we didn't really have one. It wasn't that she is insecure. It wasn't that she's a workaholic. It wasn't that she has family issues. None of that were an obstacle for the romance. The obstacle for the romance was literally, he does not live there. He lives in a different country. He comes back occasionally and waltzes back into her life and leaves her in disarray. And she is terrified of that happening again, because that's what happened last time, where they were dating and then he left and she was left devastated. So the obstacle is not either of the characters and their specific personalities. It is an external issue, which is my preference within romances. I definitely prefer my romances to lean heavily on something else is driving you apart. Be it a social thing, or be it in contemporary things like distance are a fantastic one. I like that that's used as an obstacle, even in a contemporary society where planes exist. All right, like it is a genuine huge obstacle, and I am glad it is treated as such in the book. And therefore it means that then it's not because she's insecure, it's not because she's so addicted to her work she doesn't think she has time for a guy, it's not because she was hurt in the past, it's not because her mummy dearest wants her to get with this other guy. None of that's like the problem, and I've really appreciated that. So yeah, overall I had a good time with this, and I would recommend if you're looking for one. So to recap the vlog, because we'll finish it up here. To recap, I have read 5 books. I mean, I have also been listening to my audiobook a little bit throughout this vlog, but I have not finished it. It's gonna be also my November audiobook. I'm kind of like that with audiobooks. It's just as and when I need an audiobook. So sometimes they'll last me a good 2 to 3 months depending on what I'm doing. But I have read 5 books in this vlog that I have actually read. So we're gonna rank them from my least favorite to my favorite. I think that seems like a fun way of going about this. I would say that my least favorite in this one is probably Hex and Hexability, which shocks me because obviously it's Regency, so you would think it would be my favorite, but it's not. I think because I've been reading some Regency romances and then I've been reading these witchy books, I kind of was hoping somehow that the author would find a really good middle ground for both and that like would bring them both together. But it just felt like a Regency romance with a little bit of witchiness in the background. So I think that was partly an expectations thing where I was kind of asking the author to almost do the impossible of like merging 2 subgenres of romance together in a way that just I don't think was actually tangibly possible. So that's more a me thing than the book thing, but I still had a great time with it, and yeah, still gave it a solid 3.5 stars. So yeah, good times, no complaints. I think the next one might be Payback's a Witch. Now I had a great time with this one, and it is the only sapphic one on here, so I really wish I could have it higher. I think the only thing for me is that it's probably going to be the most forgettable one, because the romance side of it felt like a sapphic John Tucker Must Die, and then the trials side of it felt like a lot of what we get in urban fantasy. There are a lot of urban fantasies that are out there at the minute that I am interested in reading on the basis of it being like this trial for magic kind of thing. I read it recently in An Unkindness of Magicians, and I really love how that was tackled. So I would be interested in reading more books in this subgenre. So like the 2 separate things are actually really, really good. It's just I don't feel like because the whole idea was they're 2 separate things that have been combined, I don't think either of those separate things stood out in their own right. So I don't think the contemporary romance part stood out in its own right, and I don't think that the trial stood out in its own right. So together they made for a really nice package, and I really did enjoy the book, but I don't think that any of those elements are going to be particularly memorable because they will pale in comparison to other books that have done it differently, if that makes sense. So it's not that there's anything inherently wrong with this book. I just don't know if it will stay with me a month from now. The next one I'll have is A Witch's Guide to Fake Dating a Demon. This one on the basis that like overall I did really enjoy it, and like I liked the idea of the way we talk about self-worth. I did buy into the romance. It was a little bit too insta-lovey for me though. And I also think that with this one, when you're looking for a light fluffy romance, this might have a few too many triggers. So like that's not something that affects my enjoyment, by the way. That's not like a critique, but it is something that I would preface for other people. If you are someone who is reading a romance because you are not doing great mental health wise, I would check triggers here because it is a heavier one. But for me, that actually really did work in its favor. It really did add to the conversation of the story. It meant that you understood why these characters affixed to each other so quickly as well. So yeah, overall, I think that this one had some things going for it in a way that I really appreciated. However, it's not one that I would necessarily be like, if you're a romance girly, go read it. Like, please check content warnings. For all of these, like all of them have got something kind of, but that one, it was just a little bit anxiety inducing. So bear that in mind. The next one that I'll go with is the X-Hex. I think I did like the X-Hex, but I would definitely put it at second place. I really liked the romance, and again, I think it was really well written. It was really engaging, and like I said, not too much toxicity from either character. I didn't feel like the characters themselves were the obstacles, and that the plot was the obstacle, which I much prefer within a romance. Which means that my favorite from the vlog has been Rewitched, which is not really a romance. Like it's got a romantic subplot, it's not really a romance. So it's kind of a treat to have this one at the top of this vlog. But I loved the conversations in that book about finding yourself, about finding your backbone, you know, about loving yourself, about being okay with who you are as a person and that you don't need to prove anything. The message within that story, I just think was handled with such strength and such finesse at the same time. And I really did appreciate that. So yeah, that is it for this vlog. Those are my thoughts on these books. So let me know if you've read any of these and your thoughts on them. Let me know if you would recommend any other like witchy, cozy-ish romances, and I will hopefully get to it maybe next year. Who knows? But that is it. So thank you, and I'll catch you in another one soon.